Hi, my name's Deanna Hope, and welcome back to Spooky Spotlight, the show where I shine a light on horror films that you may or may not have heard of. On today's episode, we are discussing When a Stranger Calls, a 2006 horror action film directed by Simon West. When a Stranger Calls is about a high school girl who's babysitting two children at a secluded lake house in the California mountains. Early on in the night, she starts receiving phone calls from a creepy man who then proceeds to stalk her and the children. This is a remake, but trust me, it is such an underrated remake. The original came out in 1979. One of the big differences between the original and the remake is, in the original film, the babysitter being stalked was actually only the first 15 minutes. That first 15 minutes was so terrifying and stuck in audiences' heads so vividly that with the remake, they decided to turn it into the whole film. Our babysitter being Jill Johnson, played by Camilla Bell. Jill gets driven to her babysitting gig by her father. Now, reason being is she's grounded, so her car is taken away. No car? Stuck in the middle of nowhere? What could possibly go wrong? This location they picked out, this house, absolutely stunning. It is incredibly unique. Probably one of the most beautiful locations I've ever seen in a horror film. This house felt like a museum. The fact that they had a Zen garden in the middle of the house really added a fun interactive element to the chase scenes. One of my favorite moments in the Zen garden is when she's in the water hiding under the bridge and then he finds her and it turns into this fight scene. Something else that is extremely unique to this film and this location is that most of the lights in the house are motion activated. So most of the time he knew where she was no matter what because the lights would turn on. And at times she would see lights come on and be lured into that section of the house thinking, oh, maybe that's where the live-in housekeeper went. Little spoiler alert, the live-in housekeeper got taken out pretty early on. The lighting was a paid actor. Whether it was an actor stepping out of the darkness into the light or vice versa. Even using the darkness to hide the antagonist's identity, making him feel like a true boogeyman. Until the end, when they briefly bring him into the light and do a face reveal, and you see that he has a lot of battle wounds. This film was perfect for its time because phones back then were more anonymous. So you could get away with being a creep or stalking someone in this way. Jill ends up calling the cops, and they instruct her next time he calls to keep him on the phone as long as possible so they can trace the call. This is where, in my opinion, one of the creepiest lines in cinematic history was said. The cop calls Jill back in a panic, saying the call is coming from inside the house. Like, can you imagine being alone in this big house with two kids and you hear that? This film did the remake thing so right. This is one of the films that made me realize that I wanted to work in the film industry and create my own films. If you are a filmmaker and enjoy visual elements such as lighting and location, watch this. It's great research. But also, if you just want a really simple, cozy summer horror flick, this movie is perfect for you. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Spooky Spotlight, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.